Hello everyone, my name is Suman Swester, and today we'll be learning how to map an ER diagram into a relational schema. This is the given ER diagram. We have 8 entities with one to many and many to many attributes. To create a ER diagram, let's let's create a table for all 8 entities. For all of these entities right here, we have a reason, store, sales transactions, includes products, vendor, category, and customer. To create a table, we go to entity relations here, and then you pick a table from here. Let's paste this here. Let's make a table for reason first. Primary key for reason is reason ID, and we have as attribute set reason name. I'm gonna delete this one and this one. Okay, next let's create a table for another entity, that is say store. This is the diagram for store entity, and the primary key ID for store is store ID. ID. And we have its attribute for the store is store zip, and store zip. Since the reason ID is connected with the store, let's connect these both together. Let's put a reason ID here, which will be our foreign key, and then we can go ahead and connect this with reason ID like that. Next we have product. Let's create a table for a product. This is called product entity, and in product, well, what I'm gonna do is for all those entity, I'm gonna capitalize it, so we need to this is better. Okay, so for product we have a primary key that is product ID. So product ID, and it has a lot of attributes. We have product price, cat product name, and also it has a relation with vendor, which is going to be a vendor ID, which is going to be a foreign key, and it also has relation with a category, which is also going to be category ID, which is also going to be foreign key. Let's go and map those on product ID right here. First, let's put product price. Yeah, product price, and then we're gonna put second attributes, that is product name, and third, let's go ahead and see that it's gonna be vendor ID, which is going to be a foreign key, and we'll go ahead and duplicate this for no, I guess okay, there you go. And we have another one called category ID. Okay, now let's see, we have product related to includes, got one any attributes on it, and which is linked to TID, gonna be a foreign key. So let's create another table for our entity called includes right here. Has I have one-to-one or many-to-many relations. Let's call it includes. Okay. Now on includes we have it linked with the TID, which is going to be a foreign key, and also attribute called quantity. So let's go ahead and it has a primary key that's gonna be a product ID. It's gonna be foreign key product ID. Let's put product ID. And it's gonna be TID. I'm gonna give it a just put foreign key right here. Okay, now we have this attribute called quantity. Okay, now let's delete this row. Okay, now let's connect these product ID and let's connect product ID and product ID together like that, and we have, let's see, now we have includes, TID has other attributes called tdate, and which is also connected to store ID and connected to customer ID. It has one to many relations. Okay, for this, let's go ahead and create another table for, let's call it sales transaction. Sales transaction. Now we can see it has a primary ID. It's going to be DID, and it has attributes date, and it has a relation with a foreign key store ID, and also it has a relation with foreign key customer ID. So let's go ahead and say date first, and another foreign key attribute, and another foreign key is going to be customer ID. Now, since it has many to many relations on it, we're gonna connect store ID, which is gonna be this one, to store ID right here. Okay, there you go. Now also we have a foreign key right here, which is going to be a primary key of sales transaction right here. Okay, now we have entity vendor, which has a primary key vendor ID and attribute vendor name. Let's create another table. Let's go right here and put that right here. We're gonna call it vendor. Okay, now it has a primary key, so vendor ID, and attribute vendor, let's say vendor name. Yeah, vendor name. Okay, no, I don't think we need those. Okay, that's diagram for vendor. Now we also have a vendor ID here, which is connected to product. Okay, now let's connect vendor ID to vendor ID right here. It's gonna be like this. Okay, now we have another entity called category and has primary key category ID and attribute category name, same like vendor. Okay, let's go ahead and create another table. Here we have, let's give you a name, category, and we have a primary ID, category ID, this is going to be primary key, and we have attribute, say category name, category name. We don't need that. Now, and this is also has a relation with product right here, so we're gonna connect this and this right here. Now we have how many we got? We have one more left, and that is customer. Customer has a relation with sales transaction right here. So let's make a table for customer entity. We're gonna make a table right here and call it customer, and it has a primary ID which is unique ID. Say customer ID. It has two attributes. One is customer name, the other one is customer zip. Okay, let's go ahead and change unique ID to customer ID followed by customer name and customer zip. Customer zip. Now this is related to where we have a foreign key here, sales transaction. Let's connect these two together. Okay, so now we got all these tables for all these tables for 8 entity, that is reason, store, product, includes sales transactions, we got vendor, we got category, we got customer, and all the entities has one to many and many to many relations. There you go. I think it's clear. Okay, so now I think that's it. This is how you create map. This is how you map an ear diagram into a rational schema. Thank you very much.